Hi, I'm Jack Hunter.
And I'm Evie Rearden, and you're watching WCAT Weekly News.
I hope everyone has had a great few weeks back from Jan term. There's certainly been a lot going on around campus.
The Glenn Institute's Around the World in 80 Bites was a big success. This fun, family-oriented global event highlighted the Westminster community's cultural heritage with many foods and traditions.
Sounds like a great time. It's February, meaning there's a big holiday coming up.
Is it Valentine's Day?
No, it's Mardi Gras. And speaking of Mardi Gras, this year's student government is hosting a Mardi Gras dance on the 23rd rather than the usual Valentine's Day dance. Let's go to Lauren Clement, who spoke to Student Government Co-President Liz Bailey and Student Government Advisor Miss Wilson for more on the dance.
I'm Lauren Clement with WCAT, and I had the opportunity to talk to Liz Bailey and Miss Wilson, both members of the student government, about the change of the Valentine's Day dance to the Mardi Gras dance. It came to the decision that the Valentine's Day dance this year is now going to be a Mardi Gras dance. What made you and all the other student council members decide and come to this conclusion?
Sure, so we started off with a survey to the whole upper school asking their thoughts about the Valentine's Day dance and especially getting kind of some numbers for attendance in the past. And our main issue with the Valentine's Day dance was not a lot of people came. So as the student government, we started brainstorming a lot of different scenarios that would hopefully increase turnout, make it more fun, make people more excited about it, and ultimately through just a lot of different ideas and narrowing it down, we decided that the Mardi Gras dance would be a really fun alternative and maybe something new, fresh to get people excited to come out to the dance for.
And according to the survey results, a lot of people didn't like that it had romantic kind of attachments to it and the pressure of a date and feeling like it's a Valentine's Day dance but it's never on Valentine's Day. So student government kind of came up with a whole bunch of different ideas and fought for a late arrival and kind of talked to the deans about different dances and different times when it could happen, and kind of, late February, people still wanted a dance, but now it was like, well, let's try something new and not have it be romantic. The dance is just going to be Mardi Gras. That's our first theme, but it could change every year.
We made it shorter, we made it a little later, and we got a late arrival for the following day, so the school will start at 9 instead of 8:30 on Friday, and we're going to have some food and snacks there. Those are kind of some of the changes that we made and some of the ideas that we went through to hopefully make the dance the best one yet.
Student government has clearly put in a lot of effort to make the Mardi Gras dance more fun for the entire student body. I'm Lauren Clement, and back to the studio.
Thank you, Lauren. Now let's talk about something a little more serious. On January 21st, millions of women and girls marched in unity and exercised their constitutional right to protest. WCAT's Aditi Pandey spoke with some Westminster students who were a part of this historic event.
Thanks, Evie. Hi, I'm Aditi Pandey for WCAT. On January 21st, women's marches were held all over the country in light of Donald Trump's recent inauguration. I talked to students who participated and learned more about their experiences in these marches. Hello, everyone. I'm Aditi Pandey here today with Ali Jaffe, a senior here at Westminster. So, Ali, as a student and citizen, why did you decide to participate in the Women's March here in Atlanta?
Actually, my sister was the one who originally suggested to all of us to go to Washington, D.C., but since it was the middle of Jan term and we just didn't really have the time to go, my mom and I thought that we would maybe march here in Atlanta.
What impact do you think the Women's March will have on the lawmakers of our nation?
I think it was definitely something that will have a pretty big impact because so many people, over 1 million people worldwide, marched because of something that they believe in. And I think Aziz Ansari said it pretty best. He said that on Friday, Donald Trump was inaugurated, and on Saturday, an entire gender protested against him. I've never been a part of a march like this, and I think it definitely showed me that if you want to protest, if you want to show up for something that you can do, it is totally 100% feasible. All you have to do is just get there.
By participating in these marches, students realize the power of solidarity in their community. Several more marches are planned throughout the year. This is Aditi Pandey for WCAT, and now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Aditi. It's great to see so many Westminster students showing their passion and taking a stand for what they believe.
Speaking of students, over 25 students from places as far away as China, Argentina, and Spain visited Atlanta and stayed with Westminster student hosts recently through the exchange program here at school. Here's Parker Batten with more.
Hi, I'm here with Madame Kelly, the director of the Chinese exchange program. Madame, as the exchange program wraps up today, how has the trip gone so far?
It's gone really, really, really well. We're very excited every time they come. This one in particular has been very successful. They've enjoyed their stay. They've had plenty of opportunities to interact with the Westminster students. They've seen a lot of places, visited a lot of places like CNN and Atlanta History Centers.
What would you say is your favorite part about this exchange program?
What I enjoy seeing happen is how it all comes together, and I don't mean just in the sense of the students interacting with each other, which is primary, of course, but also how the faculty all comes together. And if it wasn't for Sophia Tosello, Anna Major, the administration, the teachers that help us drive the buses, give classes, all that support, it's just a beautiful thing to see.
I know enrollment for next year is coming up. Is there anything I could say to students maybe thinking about doing this program next year?
Yes, and actually we're still taking students this year, so if you are interested, you can still let me know. Send me a quick email, let me know, because we are still taking students for this trip coming up in June going to China. The other thing that we do want to mention is the fact that this year we're doing things a little bit different. We're actually going into Shanghai, and about 30 minutes from Shanghai is a village where primarily all they do is manufacturing. So we're actually focusing on going towards business-centered ideas of how do they manufacture their products, and meeting with some companies, interacting with some leadership in those companies.
Thank you so much for this time. I'm Parker Batten for WCAT News, and now back to you in the newsroom.
Thanks, Parker. Sounds like they got to truly enjoy the Atlanta experience. Our city is feeling a little down after the Falcons' crushing Super Bowl 51 loss to the Patriots, a complete opposite of the excitement and energy leading into Sunday's game. Here's Will Squared with the story.
At 10:25 p.m. on Sunday, February 5th, the 2016-17 Atlanta Falcons season met its end. The Falcons' Super Bowl hopes were tragically killed by a 2-yard touchdown run from James White, which capped a 25 points Patriots comeback. For some Falcons fans, this loss is hard to comprehend. Some fans have buried their jerseys in their backyards, and some Georgian high schoolers took Monday off due to Falcons depression. Unfortunately, some Westminster students witnessed this tragedy, and so we caught up with some of them for them to tell their stories. But I have to warn you, some of these accounts may be hard to hear.
I really love looking at all the star players like Deion Jones and Vic Beasley. They really looked good this season. I liked having 6 Pro Bowl selections. That was a big highlight.
I had hope before the game. I genuinely thought that the Falcons were going to win the Super Bowl.
They've waited for so long. We've all been fans forever now. We've been by their side this whole time, but they kind of let us down this time.
They got there after 18 years, which was good, but then the game happened. So
they really held the lead for most of the game, but they let Tom Brady and his aura and his essence get to them, and they let him come back into the game.
I was with my mom at the time because I was at the game, and she was like, "Oh, I wish the Patriots would come back and make it even a little bit more of a game," which I thought was kind of interesting, but it's kind of karma.
I realized the game was slipping away when Devontae Freeman missed a block coming off the edge and Matt Ryan fumbled the ball. So that's when everything just started rolling for the Patriots.
We ran out of gas in the fourth quarter there, and that Brady is just kind of typical Brady and Belichick, just pulling it out, and it's kind of typical Atlanta choke.
I saw them running on the field and the confetti. I knew the Patriots, they wanted to review it too, but
didn't get reviewed, did it?
No.
I was really, really mad and kind of just stormed out of the stadium, and I just couldn't believe what was happening.
I just felt dead inside. It was really rough. I had trouble getting out of bed the next morning, and it was just hard.
Why would I forget that game? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? The 2017 Super Bowl, I'm going to forget that? No.
Now that we've heard some Westminster students tell their stories, we're going to wish better luck to the team next season.
Thanks, Will. Speaking of heartbreaking, the ACT is tomorrow. Good luck to everyone who is taking the test.
Winter sports are wrapping up and it's almost time for spring sports to begin. The girls and boys squash teams have nationals tomorrow in Connecticut.
And in basketball, the girls team had their season ended by pace on Tuesday by a score of 47-38 in the first round of the region tournament. The boys basketball team won in the first round against Stone Mountain 44-41, and they lost to Cedar Grove on Wednesday 39-34. The boys will be back in action next week for the state playoffs.
Swimming and diving finished their seasons at Georgia Tech last weekend, with the girls finishing 8th and the boys finishing 2nd. Congratulations on great seasons.
Many spring sports teams make their debuts next week, including varsity baseball, who will play Wednesday and Friday at home before going on the road on Saturday.
Well, that's it for this week's news. For WCAT, I'm Evie Rearden.
And I'm Jack Hunter, and we will see you next week on WCAT News.